shared a room with someone that snored incessantly? Or had a chronic cough that kept you up all night? Well, when I was a youngster, I shared a room with my brother, and he could saw logs with the best of them. How come those guys always fall asleep first, keeping you up all night? Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. I'm keeping my wife up all night with this chronic cough. And it got to be so bad that she decided to research my condition on the internet. After a week, she came back with something called reflex laryngitis. So today what I want to do is define that condition, tell you what some of the symptoms, remedies, and causes are, and then share a personal story. What is reflex laryngitis? Well, I put a diagram on your table so you can see it a little bit better. And I've printed just a few out so we could conserve trees. So what you see is a diagram of your esophagus attaching to your stomach. And the red line points to this injunction, the connector, called the lower esophageal sphincter. And when that's operating properly, it's clenched tight so that none of your gastric acid moves up to your esophagus and to your throat. In my condition, it has relaxed. And so it allows some of the acid to move up through my throat. It gives me it aggravates my throat. So what are some of the symptoms of that? Well, one of them is like a foreign substance in your throat. Like for me, it's like a fiber or a fine hair. And then if you hear somebody clearing their throat all the time, you know, they're trying to clear that sensation, which doesn't happen very easily. It never goes away, actually. Finally, after you try to clear it, you start to cough all the time. And at work, over the last year, I could have swore that I was having an allergic reaction, but it was just that I couldn't process coffee or chocolate or things like that. What other things cause this reaction? Well, spicy food, right? I'm from New Orleans, or my parents are from New Orleans. I like crawfish and crab. Now, do you think I'm not going to eat crawfish and crab? I don't think so. So that's the first thing. First thing is spicy food. Second thing, alcohol. Again, I'm from New Orleans. Crawfish and crab, you need beer. So I'm not going to give that up. And finally, I mentioned that earlier, chocolate, coffee, anything with caffeine. Those are the things that aggravate your stomach and can cause this condition to grow. What are some things that can help with calming your stomach down? Well, things that you already know about. We've got Tums, over the counter, very easy to purchase. We've also got Alka-Seltzer. If you take those 30 minutes after a meal, it'll calm your stomach down and you won't have the same sensation. If it gets worse, then you might want to take something called Prozac. And this, my doctor suggested a cheap knockoff, which is called Omeprazole. It's a Walgreens brand. Okay? Take this for 14 days and it's supposed to make yourself feel better. I've been taking this for 5 days and I already feel much, much better. All right? And if it's in extreme conditions, you may want to go see a surgeon or a doctor, and they can perform a surgical procedure called fundoplication, which basically goes in and tightens your lower esophageal sphincter so that it functions properly. All right. The reason why I didn't think that I had acid reflux is because my mother has been telling me for years, as long as I can remember, that she's got this tickle in the back of her throat. So I just thought it was genetic. You know, we all have some things that we're prone to. So I just never really considered it. And after I started suffering from it more and more, I asked my mom, I said, well, I think you have acid reflux. She was like, oh yeah, my doctor said I had that. But she'll go to bed with a bag of M&Ms and a Coke every night. And she coughs all night long. She drives my dad crazy, so much so that he's moved into another room to get some sleep. And now that I've been researching, I've been giving her these different examples, and she started taking it, and she's feeling better. So the bottom line is, if you have this condition, share with your friends, and really, grow up.